Good morning, Vinyl community. Here to read out Nic Schreck's Appendix, Easter Monday audience with the Underworld Pope. Charles Manson interviewed and decoded, transcribed and annotated by Nic Schreck. On Easter Monday, April 4th, 1988, Nicholas Schreck interviewed Charles Manson in California's San Quentin prison. A verbatim transcript of the interview is presented here. It deliberately includes all of the hesitations, digressions, infacilities of speech, and fragmentary sentences which mainstream journalism usually deletes in order to package a more palatable product to its consumers. We cannot easily conveyed in a written account are the crucial nonverbal signals transmitted through the conversation. Manson maintained at least 5 simultaneous streams of communication during this encounter. The first level consisted of the actual words exchanged during the discussion. Manson's subtle gestures, fine gradations, and facial expressions, dance-like movements, and precise intonations of certain words were significant of what was actually said. Even his calculated silences between words expressed information not explicitly stated. Despite the seemingly straightforward and down-to-earth nature of many of Manson's answers, the attuned reader will be able to see what there is a secret level at work as well, designed to fly under the radar of linear thought. The second level of communication was a constant beam of hostility aimed at San Quentin's information officer, Dave Langerman, the only Caucasian prison official in the room. In reading the interview, it is important to keep in mind the dynamics Manson is alluding to and responding to with regard to the palpable race tensions extant between the two officials assigned to watch over him. Although several black armed guards were also present, there was only one of them was personally addressed by Manson during the interview. He is referred to as the following transcript as officer. The third level of communication was Manson's sympathetic rapport with the black guards, keeping him under gun, who were utilized to a certain extent as an audience to play to. The fourth was the intermittent awareness granted to the cameraman recording the interview on film. The fifth, the most subtle level of communication, was directed at the theatrical audience, who would eventually view or read the interview. Schreck had been corresponding with Manson since 1985. Originally, prison officials had agreed to allow Manson to bring his guitar so that the music could be recorded, but this permission was rescinded at the last minute. After taking the ferry across the bay from San Francisco to San Quentin, was that Alcatraz or San Quentin Tarantino? Schreck and his cameraman accompanied him, submitted to the customary search before being admitted to the inner recesses of the maximum security prison, Forbidding Fortress. They were greeted by Information Officer Langerman, who gave them a brief tour of the facility and processed the paperwork required. Schreck was then led into the cluttered storage room office, selected to serve as an impromptu interview room. Langerman commenced that he had tried to persuade Manson to at least drag a comb through his hair, but if the guy wants to look like an armpit, that's his business. This remark typified Langerman's attitude towards his charge. After a long delay, armed, escorted, accompanied, and chained and handcuffed Manson into the room. He wore dark sunglasses and a knit cap, and he was removed once his handcuffs were unlocked. His manner was at first calm, businesslike, but casual. Manson was friendly and even playful with the black guards, but the animosity between him and Langerman was obvious. All gifts are usually not allowed under these circumstances. Schreck was permitted to present Manson with a copy of the Manson file, which he had been published a few months earlier. Manson carefully read through the legalese from Langerman, gave him to sign. Initial small talk and greetings were exchanged while the sound equipment and microphone were set up. Manson mentioned that he had heard that it was the 20th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King. They lied about this too, he said. he was rarely sized up the situation. He began to speak about the many lives he led, including his time in Mexico. CM for Charlie Manson. And a bullfighter. That's Australian right there. Ah, you don't mind if I'm a sit down, do you? This is the only chance I get to be unhandcuffed. I got it. I got it. Politely but firmly rebuffing any assistance to attaching the microphone to shirt. This is the only chance I get to come in around unhandcuffed. NS, Nic Schreck. What we're going to try to do is pause while Manson adjusts the microphone cord. At first, just bring this with your head in here, so we need to get a close shot of your head. CM, you're not gonna, have you got your gun lined up on the camera? NS, no, didn't bring that today. CM, all right, Manson. Manner is suddenly serious. He pauses. Manson lays his hand on Nick's shoulder, looks him in the eyes with great sincerity. As I give you from this heart, you dig? Nic Schreck, yeah. Charlie, we can keep up with that in the mail. It's good to finally see you in person, Nick says. Huh? Good to finally see you in person. Yeah. Since you do all these things you've been doing, man, I really appreciate you. Thanks. There's a lot of youngsters raising up like you. How is Bogus and them? Nic Schreck, fine, sends his regard. Charlie, yeah. LA's doing too well, is it? Nick, no, I got out of there. Charlie, yeah, I figured I was out of there myself a long time ago. Yeah. LA's not too cool. Yeah, it's Manson looking around for a minute of creating music or for anything of his disposal is a stripped down room for being used for the interviews. We can't get into any music because we're in what we locked in, a soulless little jealous punk. Nic Schreck, I want to ask, do you think there is any way to eventually do that? Is there any other authorities to go to do that? Charlie Manson, well, yeah, there's probably all kinds of ways we can do it. You never beat on the table, Nick asks. Yeah, no, I was thinking, let me use that trash can down there and look into Langerman unless you want to pass a rule against that. Langerman, no. Charlie Manson, everything I do, they make a rule against it. See, if I want a bucket of shit, they tell me, no, you can't have it. And then they'd pass a rule. Send no buckets of shit, man. No matter what I want to do, they want to keep me from doing it. No matter what I want, they don't like it. In other words, if I got directed to guard who tries to help him remove plastic bag from the trash can, and I'm very capable when I'm unhandcuffed, glaring toward Langerman. Langerman, okay. Charlie Manson, a measured laugh. It's another altogether different game. Tense pause. Nic Schreck. So what I want to do here is I really want to sit and ask you questions you've probably heard a million times before. I just want to talk about a few topics and let you reflect on them. Charlie Manson. Well, see, all the ways I can communicate is, Nick, rather than do a DA version, Manson casual in conversational demeanor, strikingly different from the person he usually presents to the media, begins to change. He gradually conforms into a more flamboyant, stylized in his chameleon personality served for the media. Charlie Manson, the way I communicate is in music. It's like, someone to start in the fingertips, flexing his fingers. You can know me in my fingers. You can know me in my hands. You can know me in my arms. You can know, in other words, I'm something inside that goes beyond words. Words don't work. Blur, blur, blur. They're a bunch of fucking biscuit. That's what they teach you in school. I live from here, indicating his heart and soul. Nic Schreck, what would you tell the people out there? Fuck the people out there. Well, you don't know you. I don't give a fuck whether they know anybody. They don't know themselves. They don't know me. I don't give a fuck about people. I'm looking out for this guy to self right here. So you're not angry at how the media has portrayed you in the villainous monster? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. The media is a rerun. Public opinion is a little girl. It's a toilet paper commercial. It's nothing to do with reality. Reality is here. Reality is now. You dig? And reality is I'm giving this guy here pointedly directions at Langerman. You dig what I'm saying? And I'll take and make threatening hand gestures to Langerman, make clear that that gesture he does not say out loud is an inevitable censor by deleting and incriminating words. Well, and I get that. I think we're going to stop right here. And I need to read this little other thing. In 1967, the Process Church of the Final Judgment operated a small headquarters located in San Francisco's Cole Street. Does that have to do with Karen Cole or Parker Cole? I was on Cole Street in San Francisco, I can tell you that. That'll be my next book, The Poisoner in Chief. Manson lived in an apartment only a few blocks away on the same street. Reverend Jesse Jackson, 1941, Black civil rights leader and former Martin Luther King associate, was campaigning for nomination as President of the United States at this time. So with all these things going on, and Manson and Nick talking about it, that's just the beginning of their conversation. So we'll say thanks to all the Vinyl community members, and seems like it's going to be going into the movie scene with Quentin Tarantino, San Quentin Tarantino. God bless all the live streamers and the people, and God bless the children.